Question everything, for the truth should not be televised. And that's for sure. So with that, you know, it burns me, man, to see how divided we are as citizens around the world, for one. And for two, it burns me even more to see how a lot of other nations immigrate to America and try to look down on my people, try to look down on the Aboriginal Negroes of America, the real American in, if you know what I mean. You know, foundational black Americans. I don't get it. You know, especially with the immigrants, for one. You know, especially dealing with the circumstances of what's happening with the border czar and immigrants coming over the way they've been coming over. You can't say too much on these platforms because, you know, freedom of speech ain't what it used to be, and we're going to have to put boots around the ground, 10 toes down, and work on that. But I digressed all over again because we already put boots on the ground over it, lost a lot of our people based off of trying to make these things happen when it comes to these different so-called liberties, because we definitely ain't get liberated. So with that stated, you know, a lot of people want to talk about how we ain't united, how we're against each other and so on. And, you know, you're right. You know, we've been through a lot here. But see, we've been through a lot here dealing with another nation that infringed upon us and put us in this position that we in. And in turn, we ain't never been liberated. So we ain't never been able to regroup from the devastation of the Holocaust massacre and genocides and many race wars that we have had in America, dealing with our circumstance when it comes to being Aboriginal Negroes of America. And because of it not being able to regroup, we haven't been able to patch up the traumas that we have been through to be able to deal with one another in a correct manner. We haven't been able to get into a position to control our narrative when it comes to the school curriculum and what is being taught to our children, nor any real political outlook when it comes to who we are, what direction we want to go as a people, and how do we feel about going in that direction as a nation of people, our own nation. We haven't been able to be our own nation in years. We in this gumbo, this soup that we ain't asked to be in, of many different nations, mixed all up, and cultures mixed all up. We didn't ask for that. This is what we are. This is where we at. And because of it, the outcomes of how our people is responding to it amongst ourselves, against ourselves, and, you know, at odds with everything else is based off of that reality. It's just what it is. So when you talk about our people, for instance, just look at Mexico alone. Have you Googled the most dangerous cities in the world? Literally. You got the top 7. 1 through 7, literally. You got 1 through 7. And that's your own home, with your own people dealing with each other. You top 7. So when you talk about us being having no unity amongst ourselves and betraying each other as Negroes, well, we, like I said, in a gumbo of nations where we haven't been liberated or separated to be ourselves or to even find ourselves after the traumas we've been through. But you, as of the nations, are coming from your own countries, from your own people, from your own lands, from your own governments, dealing with your own selves. And these are the numbers that y'all have amongst yourselves. So when you talk about disunity, you should look in the mirror and start dealing with yourself on how you're disunified amongst yourselves at your own homes, on your own lands, under your own governments, running from your own people to come get sanctuaries in places that ain't your home. Go figure. We haven't done that. We put boots on ground, 10-toe down, and we went against white supremacy. We went against the supremacy that Holocaust massacre and genocide our ancestors and forefathers. We went against the lynching. We went against the redlining, the black facing, the black and white waters. You can't go over to this town without a pass. You can't go down this street without 5 or 6 of your own people because you might get seen the wrong way. We actually dealt with all that literally ourselves as a people, making it easier for all other nations to come to this country so that way you can look down on us after you benefit from what we have done, benefit from our struggle, benefit from what has brought us trauma for hundreds of years now. And we haven't separated. We haven't ran away. We haven't ran and looked for asylum or seeked asylum nowhere. To be honest, we most likely don't get passports to be able to go anywhere. Very rare when it comes to the numbers of us. So with that, when you think about us and you think about looking down on us, first look at your own nation, look at your own land, look at your own people where you coming from. Because at the end of the day, we mixed up with a bunch of different people on top of us in a caste system that keep us at the bottom. From resources and economics that is controlled by the same people that blackfaced us, by the same people that invaded us, by the same people that brought terror to us, we are still attached to their children. And their children control our water, control a government over us, control all the schools, universities, institutions, religious unions, you name it. They control it. From the entertainment industries to you name it, they control it. They control the wealth of it. They distribute the wealth the way they see fit, to who they see fit and how they see fit, to where even if you're an actor, singer, dancer, you got our singers talking about they can't even control their masters. Just ask Prince. Oh, you can't anymore. Or Michael. Oh, you can't ask them people anymore. Because see, somehow when things don't go right here for us, just like Malcolm, poof, you can vanish just like that. So when you think about looking down on us or thinking about why we divided, think about the fact of the matter that we haven't been liberated, but yet still we keep on. We keep striving forward to be our best no matter what we do. We still push forward no matter what. And yes, many of us is suffering. Many of us are trapped, done took that mixed up ugly juice to breed self-hatred against each other. But it took years of us to get this way, years for us to get this way under another nation's rule over us. We're not ruling ourselves. We're trying to get to a place where we can rule ourselves. And yet we still put boots on ground, 10 toes down to help many of y'all combat supremacy from seeing y'all. Literally. Literally. We was the ones who went out, protesting, did all those things to make it a little more easier for you to be here. And in turn, we're looking for justice right now for crimes against humanity for our own people. And where are y'all at? But you're benefiting. You're getting the benefits right. But when it comes to us, why y'all ain't putting boots on ground, 10 toes down to be able to help our people out? Like we helped your people out when you first got here. But see, this is the reality. This is the game we play. Cry to the NIGGROS to get the NIGGROS to combat some of the problems that you're going through and then turn your back on the NIGGROS, betray them. Well, we no longer with that. Today, we look forward to looking out for our own people. We're suffering. We're being mass incarcerated more than any other people in the whole entire world, even though the federal census of ethnic arrests say we ain't even doing the most crimes. And it's a problem. And we're trying to deal with it. Well, our civil rights are being violated here on a regular basis, but nobody's talking about it. And this is just the reality. They done spliced our people to where we got people that are from the field and people that are in the house. It's a whole reality to that. Some of y'all know what I'm talking about. Some of y'all don't. But for those that know what I'm talking about, from that house to that field, at the end of the day, that house done ran us astray. We got people like Brandon Johnson, Eric Adams, and many others doing what they do. But is it a benefit to our people? These are the questions. Because at the end of the day, whenever you immigrants want to speak on our behalf and speak on the plight of us negatively, just remember, we the ones put boots on ground, 10 toes down to put it in the position that you're in today to get any type of respect from this system. And with that, I just don't get it. I just don't understand it. But that is the question. You let me know. Peace, peace.